Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope everyone is doing well wherever you are, enjoying themselves in all the different parts of the world or the continent. Guys, I'm not going to be doing the talking, but I felt that this is something that I would love to present and share after watching it and realizing that how much women are actually entering the blockchain space and the crypto industry. But I'm not going to explain much about that. But what is happening out there, what is happening in the world, wherever you will be sitting, you will need to understand that the digital space is taking over. The blockchain industry is disrupting the world, and um, the money that is being made is no longer being made in the offices. I mean, people are finding better ways of making money in so many ways, which is all empowered by the blockchain system. So, my invitation to you will be give yourself time, listen to what they are going to be sharing. I've got two ladies from the US and two guys who are my business partner in the current business I'm doing, where we've got cryptocurrencies backed by commodities. And at this stage, not everyone is paying attention in what is happening with commodities backing cryptocurrencies. But all I can say to you, with due cause, people will start asking themselves, why did I ignore Zolani when he started talking about this? Because this is a game changer. This is what is going to make crypto to be what we want it to be, instead of depending on speculations for it to drop the value or to increase the value. I mean, I don't think there is anyone who's enjoying um, looking at the value of crypto being affected by each and every bad or good news. When you've got your money, I mean, you sleep, you wake up, something happened, and probably you were about to do your withdrawal the following day, and now you feel like you were supposed to do it yesterday. So this is something else. But let me not take that much time, and let me share the screen and the video that is already out there, which the interview was already done. But I would love you to hear from them when they are sharing their story as well. Just a moment for me. Uh,
Like bubble gum, markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton. Crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run. You better run when the runners run.
All right, what's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. You are running with the runners. This is Michael Power, EDU. It starts with you. It is Tuesday, March 28th, 2023. We have some amazing ladies here tonight. We have obviously Latanya that you saw in the advertisement, but we have a special surprise for you guys as well. So let's get right into it. As always, let me bring in my good brother here, Ricardo Hamilton, aka Mims. Make it make sense, my man. How's everything in your world today?
Everything is excellent, brother. Lace up. Let's get wealthy, man. We got another phenomenal show for you guys, man, on this Tuesday night, man. You guys are gonna enjoy this. Look, it's the time, man. We winning. We're not gonna stop winning. Y'all know what time it is. You're running with the runners. Let's get it.
And again, guys, so much is going on. We're seeing unprecedented events in monetary policy, in freedom movements, and it's really important to stay positive during these times and doing whatever we can to preserve our wealth and help others. And you know, God answered our prayer today. We've been kind of busy with some other stuff, Ricardo, and we didn't have too much planned. And I was thankful. Latanya reached out to me and said, Mike, I need to get on with you guys. You need to let some women into this space. I think it's Women in Blockchain Week. So we're going to bring on LaTanya first and save our special guest surprise here for just a few minutes. So LaTanya, Crypto Queen, thank you for coming on the Runners Live.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you, Kings, for having me on.
Yeah, definitely. It's our pleasure.
Oh,
Anytime.
Yeah.
And so LaTanya, where are you from? Just tell us a little bit about your background before we bring on our other special guests.
Okay, well, I am from Mississippi, right? We have some business. I will see you all in person in Mississippi in probably about 2 weeks. I know the beginning of April.
Yeah.
From Mississippi, been studying, the economy real heavily, probably since 2018. And what brought that about is that was the year I went through a divorce, right? So went through a divorce. And at that time, there was like $95,000 of my ex-husband income that was exiting the house along with the marriage. And
Right.
so you tend to pay very close attention to your finances because as Mike, you will probably closely relate to, and most people that's in education know, we know that we are often overworked and very underpaid.
Yes.
So I'm still in education. I continue to teach. Former basketball coach. I'm not coaching this year. A whole lot of time again for a little bit of money and doing that as well. So I'm still teaching. I'm still in education. But oftentimes we find ourselves that we like teaching. We just pretty much don't like education per se. And I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited about the message you all are sending. And if I can help any women in any way to add some finances to have true financial peace, it's not the way Dave Ramsey teaches it, right? But to have some true financial peace, because Mike and Ricardo, a lot of people don't know, or that they know, but they don't really plan for it. There's two things, right, that will end a marriage, definitely. And it's either death of a spouse or a divorce. So it's good to prepare for those things, but we have another death that's upcoming, and that's the death of the United States dollar.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad to collaborate with you all and spread that message.
Well, we will definitely get into that. And what is it that you teach?
Right now, I'm in physical education, so I'm more on arts, athletic side. I like the right-brained type teaching style versus left brain. And but I did start off in literature, doing literature. Taught a little bit of health, but I was smart enough, intelligent enough not to get into subject tested areas. Yeah,
no, you man, being a physical education teacher is the way to go if you're going to be in education.
I'm telling you.
And do you have any children at all?
I do. She's was in the background. She's 23 years old. So technically I'm a single mother now. So but even with my divorce and with his annual income being approximately $95,000 at the time in 2018, my net worth and my income have tripled since the divorce. So I send that message to women. And even if you're a man that have to start over for any reason in life, whether your marriage or relationship did not work out, you can, win financially. You have to focus on it and you have to take action and you have to educate yourself and be ahead of what's coming for this, financial reset. Ricardo and I was talking and we're just excited about this time that's coming. The greatest wealth transfer in history. Everybody that's prepared is excited and we're ready to see what the future holds for us.
Now you said, that's huge. That's one of the biggest rough patches or hard stretches women will have to go through is when there is a divorce. Often the husband was the primary income earner, and then they're all alone. And it's like, how do I get on my feet? How do I create my more income to replace what my ex-husband was making? And then how do I even make more and dream bigger? So I love that message to get out there to women. And we were already going to have fun with LaTanya, the crypto queen. And I didn't think, this special guest could make it, but we're just going to go ahead and pour some gasoline on the fire and bring in one of our favorite women, Boomy in the house, everyone.
Boomy was good.
Great to be here with you guys.
Awesome.
Woo! All right, Boomy, you know, we've rapped with you a few times. We've had you on a few times, but really quick, if you just want to kind of new people tuning in, maybe they're like, who are these women dominating the blockchain? Maybe tell the audience a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what
Okay,
you're about.
awesome. Well, first of all, I'm excited to be running with the runners tonight. Your video
Go.
gets me hyped every time I
Let's
hear
go.
it. I love it, love it, love it. So I am a mom of 5. I am a grandma of 5 with one more on the way. So you can call me Crypto Grandma.
Woo.
And yeah, I love people. I love helping people. I love this space that we're in of crypto. And I really believe that women are just so underrepresented in the crypto space. We're like only 30% of the space. So it's male dominated. And so me, along with LaTanya, we're like, all right, ladies, like, come on. It's time to step into your wealthy place. And I always love what Ricardo says, like, if you didn't come from a wealthy family, make a wealthy family come from you. And so, ladies, we need to step up in that space. And yeah, we have the men, if we're married, to be heads of household, but oftentimes we are heads of household. And it is our responsibility to make sure that our families and that next generation absolutely experience wealth. And here we are at a special place in time where if we do the right things, we can make sure that wealth comes from us. So I'm fired up about that.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. All right. So now I've heard Boomy's entrance into the blockchain and crypto space. I believe it was your grandfather or your dad. Your father, okay, that got you into it. Who's I think in his 70s when he was getting into crypto.
He makes videos with my mom that says "Seniors on the Go with Crypto." Yeah, it was back in 2017. My dad was like, "Okay, Boomy,
Wow.
Look, we miss Amazon, we miss Google, we miss the tech stocks. We were living there during those times. We were using those technologies, but we did not profit from it. Like, we cannot allow the special place and time with crypto to pass us by. Our family has to step up and get wealthy now because of what's going on in the crypto space." And that was in 2017. So I appreciate my father for turning our family on to crypto.
Yeah, that was a great time to get in.
Yes, sir.
And so LaTanya, what was kind of like you mentioned, you know, you had your divorce, you said, I got to find a way to replace this income. What time or what kind of got you looking into the crypto and blockchain?
Well, I think
space?
everyone on this Zoom and hopefully people that's watching, you are familiar with the #1 best-selling book, Robert Kiyosaki, right? I think the greatest financial educator of our time, and that's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Well, his wife, Kim Kiyosaki, has a book called Rich Woman, and I read that book, and some of the statistics were just astonishing, that 47% of women over the age of 50 are single, right? 50% of marriages end in a divorce. And then in the first year after a divorce, a woman's standard of living has to drop 73%. Now, this other stat, 90% are all women are solely responsible for their financial well-being within their lifetime. And so when you look at the lifespan of a woman, right, likelihood a woman will live until age 80, you know, a male, maybe age 75. And I'm, you know, when that happened, I'm like, I don't want my daughters and my standard of living to drop at all. You know, I don't want my daughter to tell her, hey, I need you to take on a second job to help mother with the bills, right? I didn't want her to be concerned about college because at that point it was her first year in college, and I didn't want her to be saying, "Oh, I don't, you know, want to have to ask mom for college tuition," or "I don't want to put a burden on my mother to try to help me through college," or you know, to feel like she wasn't comfortable asking me for any type of financial support, along with the emotional support. And so in 2020, May 11th. I always remember that May 11th because 11/11 are like my prosperity numbers. In fact, everybody on the live stream, drop 11/11 in the chat. Just drop some 11/11 in the chat. I have a lot of biblical scriptures that ties to prosperity with 11:11. My favorite one is Deuteronomy 1:11, but I'm not going to teach tonight. And so with that being said, I looked at those stats. I read that book, and May 11th was the first Bitcoin halving, 2020. I started studying Bitcoin. It was amazing, right? Got on my own. I wanted something that I felt comfortable in. Look at all the 11s, 11, right? Drop it in the chat. And so that next year, I went to the Bitcoin Miami conference. It was eye-opening. The energy was amazing. Just Miami alone was able to take my daughter there, one of her best friends. She was actually a student that I used to coach, you know, and took them. And if nothing else, just them experiencing that Miami lifestyle and seeing wealth and money move on a whole nother level. And you got, you know, vehicles. And so I went there, learned so much about Bitcoin. And that's why I'm so excited about the merger of digitalized technology in the crypto commodity world, because we know, and I want everyone to know this tuning in, that, you know, Bitcoin is the, you know, deemed commodity, and that's what makes it special and a very, I think, store of value for people moving into this new world economy.
I love that. That was absolute fire. So Boomy, I think what we're going to do right now, ladies, is I want to watch, or actually, let me say this. I was surprised when Boomy said 30% of the people in crypto are women. I thought it was way less. I've heard closer to 10 to 20%, but nonetheless, women are obviously, underrepresented in the crypto space. I want to get your ladies' opinions. Why do you think that is? And maybe what advice would you give to women today to get started in this space before we watch our first clip?
That's a really good question, Mike. If I had to just speculate, I think that maybe over the years, that when you're talking about a marriage, that men have typically been the ones who made most of the financial decisions, so that can kind of play into it. Oftentimes just fear of the unknown. People just like, and women tend to like safety and security, and they're like, I don't know about that. So that could be one of the reasons, just the fear of the unknown. And oftentimes too, just like with life, and women wearing so many hats and just being so busy and feeling like, oh, now it's something else to learn. I don't have time to learn this, or thinking maybe they've got to, like, where is the information for me to learn it? So with the spaces being so new, there's a lot of unknowns, and I don't think there's been a real push or crusade for people to really help women to move this way. And that's why, as much as I can, I use the hashtag wealthy women, and I'm on video saying, hey, ladies, like, it's our turn. It's our time. Don't allow this opportunity to pass you by. I'm beckoning women to get into this space, so we cannot be denied from getting into our wealthy place. So now I don't have the real answer, but those are just some of the things that I think about, of the maybes why we've been behind. But I'm determined that we will catch up, and we need to close that gap. What about you, LaTanya?
I was reading the comment. Someone says that they see women overwhelmed. And Boomer, I agree 110% of everything that you said. Women have to wear a lot of hats, right? Have to be a mother, and depending on your job and occupation, you have to fulfill that role. Then you have to be a wife. And oftentimes, if your husband is making more income, I just don't think women ask enough questions. As long as the bills are paid, they're fine, right? And usually I think the conversations of wealth, because I know for myself, although I'm divorced now, when I got married, we didn't know where to start financially. We didn't know, should we merge our two accounts? Should we do the accounts like my parents did it, or his parents? should he pay the larger bills or the smaller bills? You know, should I take on the utilities and he take on the larger accounts? Do we do that by whose income is the highest or the lowest? And for some reason, I just don't think, even in STEM, you know, with Mike being in education, he can tell you they are trying to get more young ladies right now just in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And so even though you don't have to be a math genius to understand cryptocurrency, those areas, anything that's math driven, you know, logistics, I think women shy away from, and they don't embrace it for whatever reason. And but you know, you have some women that are doing it and they're doing it big, but I just don't think there's enough women that, you know, women usually are dependent on something, whether it's their husband, a spouse, and unfortunately, maybe government assistance. And I just don't think they think on a higher level enough to have financial freedom and kind of be the spearhead of that, I guess.
Yeah, I think you ladies kind of hit on, you know, any opinions that I had. I think a lot of it comes down to usually being dependent on someone else, whether it's a man, husband, or the state. And then men tend to take more risk. And, you know, a majority of people, no matter their sex, have not gotten into cryptocurrency. So it's obviously something new, something there's a high barrier to entry. There's a lot to learn. So as we go into this first video, Ricardo, do you maybe want to set this up? As it's so funny that you messaged me about this video, because I literally watched it 10 minutes before you messaged me. I was like, I'm going to get this for tonight's show. So why this show? Why this video clip? And what are people going to see?
So I mean, one of the things that, you know, we always try to do is not only just like add value, but we try to give it to you in the most, you know, understandable way. You know, it's memes, make it make sense. So this video that we're watching here, they articulate so well, you know, the situation that's going on globally and what that means for you. And, you know, whether you're a man or a woman, you know, most people get motivated by seeing an opportunity. If you know that there's something on the other side of this that's greater for you, then you're more likely to take action and do something. And you know, even if it's uncomfortable to learn something new, get outside the box and try something different. And, you know, the video that we're going to show now is, you know, that is a luxury. And now you don't have that option. The economy has changed forever. The world has changed forever. You have to get outside your comfort zone. You have to learn this new system that's going on in the global economy, dealing with blockchain and cryptocurrency, and how to transfer your wealth. It's not an option. It's not, oh, I can, or maybe, you know, no, there is no, you know, middle way with it. You have to go fully into this space, or otherwise you're going to find yourself living a lifestyle that is less than what you have right now. And so it's a great video. You know, Mike, I want to go ahead and play it, and then we can expound. But it further validates what we've been saying for years, and it should you know, employ you, you know, and motivate you to move faster towards you know, understanding this blockchain and crypto space, understand what's going on in the economy, and positioning yourself to build wealth in assets and diversify.
Let's go.
All right. So as we watch this video, ladies, if you want to make any comments or anything, just feel free to speak up, and we'll just kind of add our commentary as we go along here, and kind of educate the people.
Announced this week that Russia will begin using the Chinese yuan for international payments instead of the dollar. Saudi Arabia is also in talks with Beijing to do the same thing. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, they are in talks with Iran as well to consider an economic alliance with China and Russia. And they can even be joining the BRIC countries, which is an acronym for these countries here: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries all have emerging economies. So what happens if our economy and the U.S. dollar are no longer the world's dominant currency? Former Assistant Treasury Secretary and host of the Monica Crowley podcast, Monica Crowley, is here to weigh in. Monica, great to see you this morning. Let's start right there. What happens if these emerging economies move away from the U.S. dollar towards the Chinese yuan?
Well, good morning, Will. It's great to be with you. And it's really hard to overstate exactly how catastrophic the abandonment of the US dollar would be as the world's global reserve currency. Look, since the end of World War II, the dollar has been the safe place to go, and it's been backed up by a couple of things. It originally was backed up by gold, but President Nixon took us off the gold standard, so there's no hard asset backing up the dollar anymore for the last 50 years. But also it's been backed up by the strength and economic power of the United States and the fact that oil has always been traded in dollars. If that were to end, that would mean the end of the US dollar. Look, there's a perfect storm happening right now, Will. The world's reserve currency being that, having that status has been a real privilege, but we've abused the privilege by wholly reckless monetary and fiscal policies over many years, certainly over the last couple of years, which has really devalued the dollar. On top of that, now you do have this perfect storm of Biden's weakness, his war on American domestic energy production, the Ukraine war, and as you point out, because of all of these things, we've got America's enemies led by China forming a new economic bloc. And all it would take at this point now, because we're at this pivotal moment, Will, is for Saudi Arabia, who has indicated that they're open to this, to say, you know what, we're going to be open to considering other currencies to trade in oil. If that were to happen, there would be a complete implosion of the global.
Yeah. All right, so let's get some commenting here from Mims, and then hear from the ladies of what's going on here. Make sure we're breaking it down for the
usually they say
people.
this. You won't get this stuff from the media, and for us to be able to find this clip where they're literally warning people and telling you what's going on. And it's so many, confirmations, not just this clip, but if you're really trying to figure out what's going on in the global economy, you'll see what's happening in countries like Africa and what they're telling their people. You'll see what BRICS is doing and what type of moves are being made. You'll see the type of money that's flowing into gold and what governments and institutions are doing. And so a lot of things that she was saying was, if this happens, no, it's already happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally happening right now before our eyes. And then she said, which obviously if the petrodollar goes, the dollar's done. It's something that we all know, but most people, because they barely understand how the banking system works. They don't understand how the stock market works. They don't really understand, what gives a dollar value and the ramifications of the global community deciding to just ditch the dollar in global trade and use something else, blockchain, gold, or whatever it is. And BRICS is already moving towards that, and they're moving faster than most people realize. And she talked about the perfect storm, and when you really look at and analyze the situation that's going on politically, economically, and just around the world, literally it is a perfect storm. And that's why it's so important that you understand that it's not an option to say, oh, I might get in crypto. It's not like getting crypto to get rich. No, this is getting the crypto to preserve your wealth, to preserve your lifestyle, to preserve, your legacy. This is not about, is it something that, is a fad or something that I might want to do learning about blockchain? No, you have to. You have to start taking control of your economy. You have to start taking control of your money. You have to start taking control of your wealth, because nobody's coming to save you. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to get wiped out during this global reset, during this transition. When we listen to Klaus Schwab in the World Economic Forum, and they say they want you to own nothing and be happy, okay, they're not joking. They're dead serious. These are people who control everything you see, taste, touch. I mean, they control industry. They control the media, and they're colluding together to reduce your standard of living. And this is the time for you to exercise the options that you have while you have them, so you don't have to be subject to the type of tyranny and subject to the type of terms and conditions that they have for your lifestyle, and you can actually start to chart out your own, because you did the right things at the right time in this reset that we're dealing with commodities and blockchain.
He's on fire.
Ladies, anything you want to add after
I just have
Mims?
a small comment. The only thing constant is change. And as I was listening to that clip, I just thought, wow, just the world is changing, is ever evolving. And if you just think about currency and the history of currency itself, like no one country's currency ever remained the world reserve currency. I think for more than like 400 years or something like that. I forget the time.
Yeah.
So, or maybe it was 100. I'm not sure. Maybe you all know, but it's like our time is like coming to an end.
Yeah.
It's like a cycle. Everything has a cycle, and I can't see the US dollar just being the world reserve currency forever.
Right.
And China is not gonna, I mean, they want them to be at the forefront of everything. So I guess the US will try to maintain the dollar as the US reserve currency, but we know that China doesn't want that to happen, and these other countries are coming together so that they can kind of like take the dollar down. And I do want you all to speak on just, I heard that China has like, what is it, 2,000 tons? How many tons of gold do they have? Like, there's a reason that China is buying up all the gold, right? So that's called a clue. So anyway, like things are changing, and as Nim said, we just have to prepare. And crypto is not just about you getting rich. It's like it's a new asset class. Thank God it is here for us, and we need to prepare.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and you talk about fiat currencies. No, all fiat currencies go to zero. The dollar is no longer money. It's just a piece of paper. It was money when it's backed by gold. And China, and not just China, a lot of countries, Russia, I mean, BRICS, every country around the world has been dumping dollars, dumping treasuries, buying more gold than they ever have in any period of time in history. Russia has partially backed, their currency by gold. China just found about $3 billion worth of gold. And actually it's under, it's believed to be underreported on how much gold China actually has, because they're not going to tell you. So China is sitting on a whole lot of gold.
Yeah.
Okay. Russia's sitting on a whole lot of gold. There's a lot of gold that these central banks and governments are holding right now because they know that is the international standard. Gold and silver have been money since the times of Egypt. It's it's money in Africa, it's money in Asia, Europe, the Americas.
Yes.
It's biblical money, from Genesis to Revelations is mentioned. So gold and silver is definitely the new or the old and the new monetary standard. And now it's with the emergence of blockchain. And that's why we keep screaming, at the top of our lungs and going live every day and doing presentations, trying to let people know, no matter who you are, where you are, you have to start converting liabilities like the dollar into assets, which are gold and silver. And you have to start investing in the future of technology and business and money. And that's dealing with blockchain. And we're at the forefront. Everybody that you see here is winning. We all understand what's going on with the economy. We are getting these assets. We are in the blockchain. And you're looking at, the new 1%, because there is going to be a massive, massive wealth transfer. And if you're only holding on cash, you're a liability waiting to happen. You're a disaster waiting to happen. If you don't know how to convert those liabilities into assets while they still have value and while you have access to them and while there's still some time. But we talked about it before, Operation Choke Point. We talk about Silver Squeeze. I mean, it's not going to be around forever. Purchasing power of the dollar. You have to take action. You have to take action now.
Crypto Queen, anything you want to add before we finish
great
the clip?
Comments. Great points brought out by both Mims, Ricardo, and Boomy. I call Boomy Queen B, by the way. Queen B, Queen of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. So that's who I'm referring to. But just 100 years, that was brought out. 100 years, and that no financial change has really occurred. World War II, I think, occurred in between 1929 and 1930s, way before my time. And they also brought out that the dollar is not backed by any hard assets anymore. We know that changed in 1971 when Nixon removed the dollar from being able to be converted or retrieved back from gold. The story that I heard from a pawn shop behind that was Spain was on their way on their warships to retrieve the gold. And President Nixon got wind of it, and he said, listen, we cannot allow them to bring our dollars back and get their gold back. Wow. And he found out. Nope. And in the middle of a Bonanza episode, which I wasn't born at that time, but my mother's middle name is Bonanza, so I'm assuming my grandmother loved that show. He made the announcement during a commercial break. And me, I asked the pawn shop owner, when I'm learning about all this, I said, well, why didn't they just fly over? They could have arrived quicker. And he said, oh, well, they couldn't fly the gold back, so they had to be on the warships. So they gave them time. And then in 1974, it was backed by oil, the petrodollar. Well, can you really blame these countries for saying, listen, we have the real wealth. We have the commodities. Why are we taking your debt-back dollars? Why would Saudi Arabia want the United States dollar, right? And that's why we're informing people in the United States, like these other countries, eyes are wide awake. Some people's eyes are wide closed to the fact that if you don't convert your cash into these assets, into these futuristic forms of money, and that's merging both old money and new money and together, it's not going to be a middle class anymore. It's going to be the rich and wealthy and the poor. It's not going to be there in between anymore. And so you have to decide which side of the spectrum that you want to be on.
Yep. Yeah, they can go to middle class.
Right.
All right, let's go ahead and we will finish this clip here. There we go.
Mike, you there? Okay, he might have froze up. So let me it looks like he froze. He might come back in. I know he has some internet issues in there, but this is the reason that we continue to show this stuff is because literally even earlier today, I put a post on Facebook and we talk about XRP, right? And we talk about certain things that are happening in the global economy, and you just being aware of them can change your financial future, your situation, not only just right now, but forever. And if you're not getting this information, if you're not sharing this information, if you're not aware of what's going on, you're missing your blessing. You're missing the opportunity. You see, before anything happens, there are warnings, there are signs, there are events that take place that if you are paying attention, right, and especially if you follow the right people and you're getting the right information and they lead you to the right resources, right, it would change your life forever. And we talk about it, your picture will be on the mantelpiece over the fireplace for generations to come. They're going to talk about you. They're going to remember your name, but a lot of us probably don't remember our great grandparents, name and last name. But we're talking about for generations down, because once this happens, once they flick the switch, that's it. It's done. It's over. There is no, there's another opportunity. No, once it's done, it's done. The global community is done. There is no going back. You got your cards on the table or you ain't in the game. And if you ain't in the game, you're left out. And if you're left out, like she talked about, ain't no middle class. This is feudalism. It's going to be literally the have and have nots, the paupers and the princes. It means you either got it or you don't. And you're going to be at the mercy of the government and whoever is willing to give you a lending hand in whatever conditions they got for that. So, these are just some things that you have to keep in mind. There is a problem, there's a crisis, but there's a massive opportunity. No matter who you are, where you are. I mean, even if you just getting $5 worth of Bitcoin or something, or get you 1 ounce of silver, you're so far ahead of the masses. You're putting yourself in a position. You just have to, what we talk about, constantly, consistently, and continuously do it. Just start it and do it and don't stop and know that you're doing the right thing. Go ahead, Mike.
Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yeah.
All right. I've been having internet issues. It's crazy. I got to get him back in here, fix this. So let's get into a little more detail here. We're just gonna, I think the rest of the
clip. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the rest of the video, we got the main part, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. And again, obviously we are not financial advisors. I was actually just talking to my parents today about some of their financial advisors and how they basically made no money with their financial advisors in the last 20 years, even though the stock market seemed to go up, but whatever that financial advisor had them in didn't seem to work. But you should probably go and talk to a financial advisor. I'm sure they'll really help you out. So ladies, I want to kind of play, this is kind of one of my favorite clips to play. And I just want to get your ladies' reaction and maybe communicate to the women and ladies out there why this video can change their lives and how it helps us get paid daily by commodities. Who wants to go first? Boomy, I nominate you. What are we looking at here?
So we are looking at a 3D rendering of the thousands of acres of gold, the gold concessions that we have access to as one of the partners within the Debt Box project. This is just amazing. When I saw this, is like, it's not just, oh yeah, here's the land. It's like, here's the gold. And it's not just the gold. You can see how deep it is. It's a 3D rendering of it. So to have access not just to the commodity, but the technology that allows for us to access this, to scan the earth and see like exactly where the gold is, how deep it is in the ground. This is just it's a blessing. As Ricardo said, like when you see information like this, nobody's saying, okay, take all of your resources and now get into this. But like with all thy getting, get understanding. Take a portion of the assets that you have now, the dollars that you have now, and turn it into something else that's better than the dollar. So yeah, that's what we have. This right here, guys, is there's gold in them there hills and life.
And go ahead, Ricardo.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say she did that excellently, and we played those previous videos because we wanted to talk about the problem, and then what we're showing you now is part of the solution that we have found that has actually merged commodities and blockchain technology together, and it's not something that we like to think works and we hope will work and we would like to see happen. The proof of concept with what we're sharing with you has already been done. It's already a successful project backed by real world resources and commodities. It's already created, thousands of millionaires already. And, we have been on that land in Ghana, and what you're looking at is, like Boomy said, the actual gold, and you can see where it is, where it isn't. It gives us a data how deep it was before. So understand what Boomy was sharing with you is that you're looking at some revolutionary technology that's never been done before. This is the first of its kind. So don't take it lightly like, oh, we're just showing you some images we just created on some little drawing app or something. No, this is some high advanced technology that you're looking at that allows us not just to find gold, but to find any element on the planet, any element on the periodic timetable. We're able to find that. This one is just showing you gold. And the reason that's important, once again, is because there are assets and opportunities that are going to put you in position to weather the storm and put you on the other side of this to create wealth, to live more financially secure. And one of those assets and commodities is gold. And one of those technologies and blockchains and crypto is this company called the Debt Box. And what we're sharing with you is the solution that they provided that's already successful. And that is something that you should be a part of or have in your diversification plan and strategy moving forward to weather and also grow in this new economy that we find ourselves in.
All right. So LaTanya, I'm going to have you go next year. All right. So we have, like we watched there. Okay. There's gold in the ground. Okay. We have a black gold where we have oil in the ground, and we've been there. We've seen it. We've visited the sites, right? We have seen the aluminum mine in Ghana. We've gone to the grow fields in Ghana and see the sustainable agriculture. Okay, so we have these real world commodities, but how can that help a single mother? How can that help a woman, who's going through a divorce and is looking, how do I replace my income? How do I make passive income? Those real world assets and commodities in the ground, how are we able to benefit from those with what the Debt Box is doing?
Well, first of all, I just think it's amazing to be able to have access to these real world commodities, because if you're in the futures market, you know that you have to be a sophisticated investor, which means you have to be a six-figure income earner to even qualify to get access to and invest in the futures contracts, which is just another word for commodities. And I always reference, Robert Kiyosaki, because most people don't even know, right, that gold and silver is real money. Dave Ramsey teaches that, gold, and sometimes Warren Buffett teaches that it's just a shiny metal, and it just looks pretty. But it's in the Constitution that it's real money. And when this central bank's digital currency, when this switch is flipped, when this reset happens, it's going to be used and leveraged to reset the currency system. And I got excited when I saw that black gold, also known in the United States as Texas tea, that oil that runs this economy, that keeps the economy thriving. I'm not sure if people even know that oil has to be used, crude oil has to be used to even make fertilizer. So in order to give us our plants and our agriculture, and then you're doing this in places like Ghana and South Africa, that's going to be a part of this BRICS nation, going to help those areas as well as other areas inside and outside the United States financially as well. And so just people realizing, again, Robert Kiyosaki said it this way: commodities, gold, silver has been around before the cockroaches, and they're going to be around long after. If you look at the definition of money, it has to be something that never grows, right? It cannot be, a piece of paper. I know that the dollar is made of cotton, and that somewhat would constitute a commodity. But when you look at things that we use on a daily basis, and that becomes valuable because we're using this on a daily basis, and they will be on high demand. Even the clothes we're wearing, right, probably are made of cotton. And we were just talking about 2 months ago about the price of eggs. We shop for commodities every day. We fill our vehicles with either oil or some type of gas every day. And so it just is. I'm so excited to be positioned at this point in time to learn about this, because I didn't know about Bitcoin when it was under a penny, right? I learned about it in 2020, and even though I got in at $3,000, I still got in. But if I could have got in at 3 cents, I would have did it. And so it just makes sense, and I'm just excited to have this knowledge and to be exposed to it at this time.
It really is a game changer. And I love cryptocurrency. I love Bitcoin, and it's decentralized, and it's, has a great track record and long history, but it's still technically backed by nothing. Some people would argue it's backed by the network of tons of supercomputers all around the world that allow it to be decentralized, which gives its value. But most cryptocurrencies are backed by nothing.
Right.
So the fact that every month we're pulling real world commodities out of the ground, selling them for profit, and then the debt box is taking that profit and buying the tokens off the exchange, thus decreasing the supply and increasing the price. So you can see here, $9.3 million was used to buy the Explorer token. That's the satellite technology token we have. 8.7 million was used to buy aluminum, from bringing aluminum out of the real world. 5.6 million in black gold, and 5.5 million in natural gas. Mims, anything you want to add before we leave this slide and move on?
Yeah, so we just want to help you guys understand the value of what we found as a solution to hedge against financial crisis and inflation and build wealth with this company, the Debt Box, and this technology that they have, which we talked about, and then also the tokenomics, how it works, what gives these tokens, because we're talking about, cryptocurrency backed by something in the real world to substantiate its value, right? And so these cryptocurrency is backed by, once again, these real world commodities. We're talking about oil, natural gas, aluminum. Obviously, you saw the gold and that render that we showed earlier. And what the company's doing is they're taking the royalty check that they're getting from the sale of these real world commodities, and they're taking 100% of it, and they are buying the tokens that we are mining. Okay. So what does that mean? That means we always have a market. We always have a buyer. There's always money coming in to buy the tokens, to add value to the tokens that we're mining. But it gets better because the company implemented the laws of supply and demand in the tokenomics. And what I'm saying is that the supply of the tokens that we are receiving is constantly reducing. And because they're reducing and because there's money constantly coming in, that creates a mechanism where the potential and what we've seen is the continuing rise in the value of our tokens, right? And so the burns, what Mike was showing you that this company is transparent because, for one, it's on the blockchain, okay? So when they take the tens of millions of dollars that they're getting from the sale of the oil or natural gas or whatever commodity it is, and you're mining those tokens, they're buying those tokens on the secondary market, and they're sending them to what's called a burn wallet, which pretty much means they're just taking them out of circulation. They will never hit the market again. They cannot be sold. They cannot be moved. And what that does is decrease the available supply of tokens in circulation, which adds and creates an effect that adds value to the token. So we get excited because we have a real blockchain project with real cryptocurrency backed by real commodities. That's the value is substantiated from revenue of the sale of these commodities in the real world. And then we have tokenomics, okay, that are implementing the laws of supply and demand to continue to add value and to help us be more financially secure by having assets that are producing tokens, which essentially is money, okay, that we can transfer into any cryptocurrency we want. We can move these tokens to our bank account. We'll sell the tokens for dollars and move it to our bank account. So this is part of our strategy in the face of this crisis that we're in financially, to be able to have some options and secure our family future by leveraging commodities and blockchain technology with this company, the DebtBox, and this phenomenal solution that they have provided with this revolutionary technology that they have.
Woo! That's why you run with the runners right there, and you listen to Mims. Woo!
Yeah.
My man. All right. So ladies, I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here, and Ricardo as well. I'm just going to ask some random questions here and just, 1-2 word answers. Okay. What is your favorite node from the DebtBox? Ricardo, I'm going to make you go first and let the ladies get a minute to think about it. You only get to buy one node. What is it?
Man, that's a tough question because
don't give me that children thing, Ricardo.
No, Mike, we get this question all the time. All of us, on this platform, we get this question. Which one should I get? What's the best buy right now? And of course, it does come down to what's available. It comes down to, what you can afford, financially. But
everything's available. It's the same price. Who you taking?
I would say maybe the debt license, only because there's it would change. If you asked me in the previous video, I would have told you Nat G. But I'm thinking about debt right now, okay? Because there's only 30,000 of those licenses. You know what I mean? And that is the main utility token. So all those other tokens are under the umbrella of that license, right? So if I had to look at it from that sense, and I could say, and there's other obviously some other things. But outside of that, when we got started, it's definitely Nat G. Nat G was the baby. Everybody loves natural gas. Especially because of the environment that the global economies and the use case and the growth and the need for natural gas. But honestly, I can't imagine.
We know you have them all,
node.
Ricardo.
It's diversifying. It's not like, it's a node in a different commodity. It's natural gas, it's oil, it's aluminum. Like, how do I?
All right. Boomy. Hopefully you can answer this question better than Ricardo. He apparently can't follow directions.
All right. So I won't get chastised by the teacher. I'll just say Nat G, natural gas, because I heard that we're bringing on, we have like 100 new oil and gas partners or something with us. So that's a clue that I love that the number of tokens that it paid out, that is paying out still each day. So it's so much to love about Nat G. So that would be my favorite one.
All right. Very, very good, Boomy. Much better than Ricardo. Latanya, what do you got over there? What's your favorite node?
It's hard. It's like asking you out of your children, which one's your favorite?
Right.
All of them have different personalities, right? Mike, I think I'll go with Black Gold. And just because I believe that past performance is not a predictor of future performances, but it is a good indicator. And it's a good measuring stick.
Yeah.
Now, it could have been a toss-up between gold, being that it will be used to reset the currency system. But because I have the knowledge that Black Gold has already created over 100 millionaires in 10 months' time, I'll go with the beast that already has created the millionaires. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that one.
I mean, that's always a tough question, Mike. I mean, we got Bev, okay, recession-proof industry.
So listen, hold on, don't take my answer, Ricardo.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to shock the world here. I'm going to go with Bev because, all right, the tokenomics, kids.
Yeah, that's
all about the math and the tokenomics.
Yeah,
the quarterly quarterings.
Yeah.
Okay, Bitcoin has a quartering or a halvening every 4 years.
There you go.
A quartering 4 times a year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to just.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's going to be wild.
Can I change my answer? No. I mean, no, it's.
That was a great point.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge because, everybody talk, you talked about the Bitcoin halvening, that happened on May 11. And the things that make Bitcoin rise in value is one of those major catalysts is the halvenings. It is that reduction in the output or the reduction in the supply of tokens. And so when you do have a project like Bev, our beverage node, which is backed by the beverage industry, which we will be seeing the actual physical location and bottling and distribution here in about a week or so. When you do have that quarterly, every 3 months, a quarter of the supply being cut, the next quarter being cut. But yet at the same time, you have tens of millions of dollars coming in to buy the tokens. And then once again, moving into, what looks like to be a recession, it's going to be pretty bad here. It might be even worse. And to leverage a recession-proof industry and have this software, this node that's producing those tokens for you. Now, I definitely see why you're saying Bev, Mike. It's definitely a hot buy right now.
So first of all, we just want to say we got over 100 people watching right now, and we appreciate you guys for your following and support. We would love to hear from you guys. What is your favorite node? Again, don't be like Ricardo and say 5 of them. Just one node in the comments, and then give us the hashtag node life, hashtag node life, and I will get those here in a minute. All right, last question I'm going to ask you guys. Pay attention. Okay. We're not talking about any DebtBox projects. Okay. You have to buy one cryptocurrency, but it's not Bitcoin and it's not Ethereum. Okay. So no DebtBox, no Bitcoin, no Ethereum. You can only buy one cryptocurrency. What are you buying? Ricardo, you go first. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. I mentioned it earlier. It'll have to be XRP.
Yep.
Yeah, without a doubt, it'll have to be XRP. I mean, even with the FUD, even with the lack of price action, it's still like number 6 on CoinMarketCap. The use case and the growth of Ripple and this project is continuing to grow. Internationally, it is being respected and bought up. So it's definitely it's a token that solves a major problem. One thing that we love about DebtBox is their technology. It's solving a major problem. That adds value to our ecosystem. That adds value to our tokens. Well, XRP and Ripple are doing the same thing. Ripple's doing the same thing. They're solving a major liquidity crisis that's going on around the world. We are in a liquidity crisis. Okay. And so when you have something that is a major solver for that, with major banks and governments already on board, that is where I'm going. I'm definitely XRP.
All right, Boomy, who you got?
So you said we can't say Bitcoin?
No Bitcoin, no Ethereum, no DebtBox projects.
No Ethereum. Okay. So this is all right. Well, I'll go with Cardano, ADA.
Okay.
And So the only real reason behind that for me is like, so I've been buying Cardano for about 3 years, and they were doing some really great things in Africa, and I love what's going on in Africa. And real use case behind it. So that's why I would say Cardano. And right now it's still very, very on sale. So you can pick up a whole bunch. For
awesome. 88. All right, Latanya.
Ooh, okay. I will probably, and my followers always try to get me to elaborate more. I would probably go with Chainlink, the Oracle.
Ooh, I like that. That's a smart choice right there.
Yeah, because it's, XRP and RippleNet is different, and we don't know. We don't know, even though XRP on, but I would probably go with Chainlink, the Oracle.
Ooh, I like that. That's a smart choice right there.
Yeah, because it's, XRP and RippleNet is different, and we don't know. We don't know, even though XRP, Army and Believer, but it's still up in the air, right? And then when it comes on the SEC regulations, you just don't know how that will impact it. So being that Chainlink has already made the announcement, and I love ADA as well too, Queen Bee, but since they've already made the announcement that they are merging with SWIFT, which is already the current global financial system that has pretty much solidified that deal, I would go with that based on those premises. But I do think they will add the RippleNet technology, because technology is the name of the game, to make those transactions through the linking of the connections of the SWIFT global financial system.
We're dropping some knowledge tonight, guys.
Awesome. Yeah.
Mark this down.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Polkadot or DOT. Gavin Wood basically created Ethereum, and he said, you know what? Ethereum's not good enough. I'm going to go and create my own thing with DOT. DOT at number 12 at $6 right now, with the being a layer 0, the interoperability, having Gavin Wood being EVM compatible, which basically just means you can copy and paste anything from Ethereum or any other EVM onto DOT. I'm going to go with DOT, and but I think everyone's choices were amazing. And again, guys, that's why you got to get educated, right? You got to learn the ecosystem, the community, what you think will work. Like, it's got to be something you believe in. If you don't believe in the crypto, it's not worth it. That's the beauty of this space, is we're not stuck in some dead dollar that has no value, and they just want us to line up like mindless drones in a CBDC and control everything that we do. No, we get to pick the future. We get to decide the future. We get to say, where is my value going based on my values and what I believe I want this world to be in the future. So closing it out, ladies, maybe some tips on how to get involved or how to get started. You could tailor it for women, but really just anyone in blockchain. What advice would you give them as we sign off here of just how to get started, and maybe a first few steps that you would tell them if somebody came to you and asked for advice?
Yeah, and how they can reach you.
You want to go first, Latanya?
I can. I would, if I was just starting today, I was new to cryptocurrency. If I was hearing this information, if I, just found out about the impact of commodities and what's about to happen with the United States dollar for the first time, I would inform everybody. I would definitely get income producing asset. Mike, you played that video, and it talked about we are about to enter into extremely high inflation, right? I would definitely get something that I can have more control of the liquidity and the event that I needed to liquidate my money into, for emergencies or whatever may happen. I would definitely not put more money to anything that I feel like I could not afford to go without for maybe stretches of time, because as this currency system happens, United States is just not going to lie down and let it happen lightly. And so there's very high possibility that we may enter into a World War III. And you know what happens during war and how inflation and prices increase. And so this can be a long stretch of things that we've never experienced before in this economy. So, you know, as Charles Dickens say, and Mike, I'm going to the school teacher with this one. We're about to experience the best of times at the same time and the worst of times.
Yeah. Wow. Well said.
The best of times and the worst of times simultaneously. And so would I put $1,000 or 5,000 in Bitcoin right now? No, not at 27,000. It's not much meat on the bones as much as we believe in Bitcoin. As much as we, you know, believe in our other cryptocurrencies, you know, maybe like Ricardo said, MEMS, maybe XRP because a judgment is coming out. But you know, hey, they may still suppress the price of XRP for a time period, just like they did in 1930s when they didn't want the United States citizens having gold, having the real money. And they suppressed it until the government confiscated all of the gold from Americans. Then they spiked the price up. And so we're not just telling you this, that commodities is the way to go, because other than trying to help you and assist you for what's about to be, again, the best of times and the worst of times, we're telling you because we're futuristic thinking, we're informative, we research, and we're seeing that World War III is going to be a commodities war. Russia, China, South America, they are not talking about dumping the dollar just because it's backed by debt. They're talking about our commodities, our oil, our diamonds. It's too precious to exchange for your paper monopoly money. And so I would definitely mix the best of both worlds right now if I was starting over, or if I was just finding out. I would definitely take action, because central bank's digital currency is announced that they will be launching in July. So you have just a small window of opportunity. And I would definitely be proactive at this time versus being reactive.
Well said. Well said. So make sure you guys go to YouTube. I dropped the link in the Facebook or wherever you're watching this. Just look down below, and you will go to Crypto Queen. And now I get why you had 1111. At first, I just thought she was like, you know, Crypto Queen. I want to find one that's available. Now we know 1111 are her numbers. So Crypto Queen 1111 on YouTube, crushing it for 37,000 subscribers. Latanya, I'm gonna have to have you like mentor me on how to build a YouTube channel or something better. I need to get some advice here from you.
Thank you.
All right, boom.
You can mentor me on thumbnails, Mike.
All right.
Okay.
Even trade, I'll do it.
Trade. We're going back to the barter system.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, Boomy.
Hey.
Your advice here, your last words to the ladies or people out there on when it comes to getting started in crypto.
So if I was getting started all over, what would I do? I jotted down a couple things. So I would find a mentor, find somebody that I really trust, like the runners, to follow, who could just help to guide me. So number one, I'd find a mentor to guide me in the space. And then secondly, I'd open up a wallet. Like so many people just don't have wallets. So I would open up a wallet. And the first crypto that I would buy is Bitcoin. I still love Bitcoin. It's like the granddaddy of them all. So that first purchase that I'm going to have my grandkids to do is going to be Bitcoin. And then I would truly now purchase as many nodes as I could. Some of all of them, diversify my portfolio, since I've now crypto that's backed by real world commodities, like, and you can get paid every single day, whether you're sleeping on a beach, whether you're at your job or with your family. Like, yeah, I would let that software technology pay me. And then I would start teaching our babies. I got to give the plug for legacy. So I went on Amazon for my 3-year-old grandson.
Oh, that's amazing.
Blockchain for babies, ladies.
I love
Gotta
that.
go Amazon tonight.
So let's teach the next generation. We got crypto for kids and NFTs right here. So that's what I would start doing. So as you learn, you should also teach. So let's teach the next generation so we can really leave a legacy.
This is why we need women in crypto, Ricardo, is they're much more loving and caring than we are.
And Mike, real quick for Ricardo, I forgot to mention my own book. I have a book.
What? She got her own book?
Yes. How can I forget? It's on Amazon as well. So just
wait.
Bring it a little closer. We can't see.
bring it a little closer.
Yeah. There you
It's
go.
Crypto Chris Profits. I am for the first time in my 18-year career ever teaching elementary kids, and boy, what a change is that! And but they did inspire me to come out with a book, right?
Wow.
To have something more on their level where they can understand, and I think it's a great read for adults as well. And it's also breaking down again. That's on Amazon. And
what am I doing with my life, Ricardo?
I don't know. It's just I just took a jab at it, and Crypto
You did
Chris,
it.
he decided one day that he wanted to go from cash.
Like you shut in
And
that cash.
boom, like you said, Crypto Chris wanted Bitcoin. He he didn't care about whatever the US dollar was priced at. So that's it.
Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
So thank you so much, Mike,
That's
for
what's up.
sharing. I appreciate that too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. Okay.
I might have to buy some of these and put them in my
Yes,
in
I'm
my
gonna
local
order that
school.
tonight.
That's sweet.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys head to Amazon, buy Crypto Chris Profits. I'm gonna be buying this tonight too, and have my boys maybe do some videos and TikToks on it. That's sweet.
Yeah. But then the runners out.
All right, Mims, you want to kind of wrap this up here, man? What a great live, great feedback, great audience, man. This is why I just love what we do.
I think that a lot of people are going to agree that's probably the best show that we done had this year, if not since we got started. Because it's a vibe, it's the energy, it's the value, it's fun. It was well articulated. I think that people really should have seen what's going on, and how we care and how serious the situation is. And also, what we share from our heart and what we believe is a solution, not only for ourselves, but for our families. So, like she said, it's, worst of times and best of times all at the same time. And it really comes down to what times do you want to be in? This is an opportunity as well as a crisis. And it comes down to your mindset. And like we talked about earlier, it comes down to who you follow. It comes down to what you're learning. And then, of course, ultimately, it comes down to what you do. It comes down to you taking action, because otherwise anything else is just intellectual masturbation. It just feels good, but it's not getting you anywhere. You got to take action. You got to do something. And so, no, I'm fired up and excited. I think we got to have the ladies on at least once a month or something. We got to have some of this magic on all the time for everybody. I think it's going to be great. I think people got a lot of value from it. Awesome show, man. Awesome show.
Okay, what was I going to say here? Okay, so first of all, we're not going to go into too much detail. We have big things soon. It's already, in the works with a few people. We're going to Mississippi to the bottling and distribution company where Latanya is down there. And we're going to have Bev Day. I think that's April 7th. All right. We have some big announcements coming out Monday. So guys, understand every now and then we got to take a break. Okay. There's not revolutionary events happening all the time. But again, this is the accumulation phase. Okay. Phase where you got to get positioned and you want to get as many tokens as possible to get ready for when things take off. So Boomy, Latanya, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you ladies and definitely look forward to having you back. I think that's it. Are we good, everyone?
We're good.
Hey, that was
good.
Let's
Enjoy.
go
Lace
here,
up.
buy some more news.
Yeah.
All right,
Lace
lace up. Let's get wealthy,
Let's get
guys.
wealthy. Peace.
Show my cash stack. High yields on stable coins. Yeah, that's where my bag at. All I really need is Wi-Fi. Getting money on DeFi. Mega cash on MetaMask. You better run when the runners run. Show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflated like bubble gum. Markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton. Crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run. You better run when the runners.
Yeah, is that- All right, sorry about that, guys. Oh, wow. Not sure if you were following this from the beginning until the end, but it will be there for some time. You can watch it. But all I can say to you is, I've been in the crypto space since 2015. I know how this thing is working, and I know what it has done for me and a lot of other people. And I mean, currently, we know that a lot of people are making money from different spaces, some in the crypto space, but all that. But I will tell you one thing: if you are a believer or you are a non-believer, you don't trust things and all that, give yourself that time, that moment, that say, okay, this thing is new. It's the first time we're having commodities in the blockchain space. It's the same as having NFTs in the blockchain space. We've got metaverse in the blockchain space. Crypto is in the blockchain space. See, so everything is new, and we've already see people making it through the crypto space, and now we've got people who are making it with other platforms. Some are following more, paying more attention in NFTs and metaverse as well, which everything is going the same direction. But all I can say to you is, don't overlook anything that is happening in the digital space. Take time, go through, do your research, request one-on-one, get someone to mentor you, get to understand. But all I can say to you now, I don't care where you are making your money, how much you are making, it is your money. But what you need to know, there are commodities that you need to add in your portfolio. You don't have to go out and be a marketer, do the network marketing industry in the same. You can get your license and earn daily rewards or daily tokens of these commodities. Just think back. We've got meme coins. A lot of people became millionaires from meme coins, which were pump and dump. And when they went up, people made good money, and those are down. And I'm telling you now about something tangible, about something that has been out there for years. But between me and you, we know how difficult it was to earn gold, to earn oil, to go to palladium, all these minerals. And today we've got a way of being part of. And my advice to you will be, get in, get some, add something in your portfolio. Let your portfolio grow. Let the portfolio create legacy for you. It doesn't just make you happy by only enjoying the withdrawals from where you are making money there and there. Take some of that money. Make sure there is something that you are earning on a daily basis while you are making your money. You are working. You know very well that your salary currently cannot take care of you. It cannot pay all your bills. take some of the money that you're not going to cry for, even if, I mean, that's a risk that you want to take. But most of these risks have been paying off, guys. A lot of guys took risk and the risk paid off. I mean, if I would have to mention names, I would mention names, but don't want just to mention names of people. But one thing for sure, I always watch on social media, there are some ladies currently that have been trying and losing money somewhere. But today, believe me, they are the one who are on top of the list of the people who are cashing out currently in their business. And we all have to admire what is happening. We all have to admire the risk and not giving up when things coming up in front of them. They never gave up, but they kept going when they were not making it. But today, it has turned into their favor. But one thing that you need to understand, we make money, we invest it somewhere. Make money, create a good portfolio, have a healthy portfolio. My advice to you, where I'm sitting and watching commodities. I'm earning daily rewards from commodities on a daily basis. Yes, it's nothing that I can say I can show you in value-wise currently, but in numbers, I'm sitting comfortable and I'm calculating days. Already with what I have, it can pay my bills, but it's still the beginning. I'm here if you want to know more. You can hit me on my inbox, can arrange a meeting at your convenient time, and I will take you through. Or you can just send me a WhatsApp on 062 132 1960 +27 132 1960. My name is Zolani. Have a great day, guys. This was a great session for me. Getting it from Ricardo, Mike, Bumi, and Crypto Queen. These are the guys and ladies who are making it in this new commodity tokens running through blockchain. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.